Police have been searching for years. No clues, no patterns, no mistakes. Some of the most dangerous criminal minds in history evaded capture, not because of strength or luck, but because of intelligence. Today, I want to ask a question that might not have a comfortable answer. Who was the most intelligent serial offender in history? For people, for minds, for levels of darkness. Let's take a closer look. At 15, Harvard University accepted him. At 16, he walked through its doors. At 25, he became the youngest mathematics professor in the history of UC Berkeley. His IQ? 167. Ted Kaczynski, later known as the Unabomber, was, by raw intellectual measure, likely the most brilliant criminal mind ever documented. But what did he do with that mind? He rejected modern society entirely. He retreated to a small cabin in the forests of Montana, no electricity, no running water, and began constructing handmade explosive devices that kept the FBI confused for 17 years. Packages that left behind no trace. Fingerprints deliberately eliminated. Raw materials gathered from nature so that no purchase could ever be recorded. So what ended it all? He never made a mistake. It was his brother, David, who recognized his voice and writing style in his published manifesto and contacted the FBI. The Bureau didn't catch him. His own family turned him in. Charisma is its own form of intelligence. Ted Bundy understood this better than anyone. He weaponized his appearance, his smile, his calm voice. He convinced people to trust him, presenting himself as wounded, helpless, in need of assistance. He studied law. He represented himself in court. He impressed judges. Journalists became fascinated by him. He escaped custody once, jumping from a second-floor courthouse window. Then he escaped again, this time through a hole in the ceiling of his cell, after deliberately losing nearly 20 pounds to fit through the narrow opening. But Bundy's intelligence had one fatal blind spot: ego. He believed he was smarter than everyone around him, and that belief is what made him careless. Even as he faced his final sentence, he was still negotiating, still bargaining, still convinced he could find a way out. Sometimes the most intelligent move is to make no move at all. Dennis Rader, known as BTK, was a church congregation president, a municipal compliance officer, a family man, a friendly neighbor. His first offense? 1974. His last? 1991. His arrest? 2005. 14 years passed between his final crime and his capture. He lived freely among his community. No one suspected a thing. He played games with police. He sent letters. He dropped clues. He wanted to be noticed, but never identified. At one point, he sent a letter to police asking whether a floppy disk could be traced back to him. Through a classified ad in the local newspaper, investigators told him, no, they lied. That floppy disk, sent from his own church computer, led police directly to his door. 31 years from his first crime to his arrest. One moment of vanity, and it was over. This one is different. The FBI has described Israel Keyes as one of the most meticulous and methodical offenders in American history. Why? Because he didn't just commit crimes. He built a system. Years before each attack, he traveled to locations across the United States and buried kill kits. Home Depot buckets filled with rope, firearms, ammunition, cash, and chemicals to eliminate any evidence, and left them waiting underground. When the time came, he would fly from Alaska to another state, rent a car, select a victim completely at random, retrieve his buried kit, carry out the act, and return home. No pattern. No consistent victim type. No fixed geographic area. He had even studied FBI criminal profiling books, specifically to learn what not to do. When he was finally caught, it wasn't because of anything he did wrong at a crime scene. It was a single ATM transaction traced back to his last victim. Before he could reveal everything, He took his own life in custody. We still don't know how many people he claimed. The FBI is still searching for buried kits that may still be underground, possibly containing evidence of crimes we haven't discovered yet. You didn't come this far to stop here. Subscribe and go deeper with Obscuramind. Kaczynski had the most powerful mind, but couldn't account for the people closest to him. Bundy had the most sophisticated social intelligence, but his ego destroyed him. Rader had the most extraordinary patience, but one moment of vanity unraveled everything. Keyes had the most refined system, and took its secrets with him when he died. Maybe the answer is this: intelligence, even in its darkest form, always has a blind spot. And perhaps that is the only hopeful thing about this story. Some minds were built by nature for greatness, and chosen by their owners for darkness. We look at that darkness, not to fear it, but to understand it. Reality is never the full story. Obscura.